Okay, well, welcome to St Kilda for Pride March 2007, and it's a pretty wet and miserable day. We've already spent some time running from the rain and the wind, so we don't know what it's going to look like when they get down here.
We can hear them starting to come down now.
I think the Dykes on bikes. Rodney.
You can hear them now, starting to come down the road, nice and noisy as we like. Because it looks like there's a good crowd this year too.
You can hear them long before you can see them, but always that way, isn't it?
Hi and welcome to a wet and rainy but nonetheless exciting 2007 Pride March, and behind me, Dykes on bikes, if you can hear me at all through all of this.
How many have we got this time? Quite a lot.
It's grown since last year, there's more.
Boy, they're also getting a great reception from the crowd.
They are, aren't they?
Probably here.
The crowd has got louder and louder and more supportive every year. I remember back in 2000, the crowd was very quiet as people went down the street. It was almost eerie. This is terrific.
Now, what happened to that whip-wielding tranny in a leather corset who was on one of these bikes last year?
Possibly down there.
Whoa.
Oh, lordy.
Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, men on bikes. I think this is a first.
Good range, isn't it? There's road bikes and classics.
And gigantic Harleys with every bit of chrome you can think of stuck on them.
I have no idea what any of them are. I know nothing about bikes except that they all have two wheels.
There speaks a real gay boy.
We've got a drag queen with a leather whip running down the road.
Oh, that's her. That's her again. Yes.
Oh, this is the one you were talking about.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you know, she made a guest appearance also in Kenny.
Did she really?
Yeah. Her and Kay Sarah turned up in the footage on Kenny, much to my surprise.
Fantastic.
I wonder if he's here somewhere with his portaloos. Whoa, whoa. She's waving everything she's got.
Fantastic. And here comes the rain again, I think.
Ow, feels like it, yeah.
Yeah. Certainly not dampening the spirits, though.
No, well.
Ah, that's really coming down now.
Dampening me.
Are you getting a little wet, are you?
I'm getting very wet. Yeah, I'm getting a lot wet too.
It's wonderful.
Can somebody come and stand in front of us with an umbrella or something?
We need some more of that cling film. Just wrap it around us.
That's an idea. I haven't tried that for years. But cling film and baby oil, we could have some fun.
That's what I heard, Doug.
Next up, City of Port Phillip and the Midsummer organisers.
Pride March since the beginning, it says. Oh, and there comes Midsummer as well.
Port Phillip, City of Port Phillip.
City of Port Phillip, yes, of course, we mustn't forget our wonderful City of Port Phillip, sponsors, of course, of the Pride March for many years.
Which is wonderful. Wonderful to have that support.
Yes.
Vital.
Absolutely, otherwise it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. And of course, Midsummer is the kind of parent organisation of all this, from which Pride originally sprang.
Pride has sprung.
And has sort of gone home again now because they're now sharing offices once more.
Is that right?
Yes, they're now both based in Abbotsford, and they're sharing offices, and also the same logistical planning company is doing everything for both Pride and Midsummer this year.
The Melbourne Rainbow Band. And some of them very sensibly wearing their plastic outdoor gear today. Next up is P-Flag, Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. Always a huge and very supportive group of the community. Is this the first time you're marching today?
I marched last year.
Every year?
Yes, I have, and I go to the Mardi Gras in Sydney as well.
Oh, congratulations.
Have a fantastic time.
Having fun, mate.
Oh, here come the police. That's why everyone's cheering.
And they're marching in formation, which is great to see. Look at that. Left, right, left, right.
I love the white gloves. So stylish. I think we should go back to wearing white gloves in the summer, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. And what is it? No white shoes before Easter? No white shoes after Easter?
I think it's no white shoes after Labor Day. Yeah, you've seen parades and things over in the States, haven't you?
I have, yes. The
They have
AIDS
really
walk in Washington.
big bands, don't they?
They do, and lots of people too. Amazing to see that many people out on the mall in support down in DC.
Yeah.
Something to see, and the parade in the Love Parade, I think it's from memory, it's called in Chicago.
Yeah, of course, here comes the biggest contingent of all, which is Joy 94.9.
Wonderful Joy.
Our wonderful radio station. Yeah, you see all those letters, the J-O-Y
Yes.
and the 949 they've got down there? I was at the station offices the other day and they were re-glittering those letters. I mean, I came out of there with pink glitter in my beard. I mean, you know.
Again?
What are those koalas doing? Just what are those koalas doing down there? Can you see?
I can, but oh, they look like they're, oh dear. No.
How long have you been volunteering for Joy?
Only a few months, but it's been really fantastic.
And you're straight down here to Pride March?
Yes, absolutely. And seriously, if anyone's interested, just volunteer. It's been really, really fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
This is the feds this time. Did you know that they had gay and lesbian liaison officers in the federal police as well as in the state police?
I did not know that.
That's a new innovation, I think, in the last couple of years.
I think they were probably always there.
It's Doug Pollard here down at the Pride March, marshalling ground, and I'm talking to Marg Henley. Hello, Marg.
Hi there.
Now, why have you come down to Pride March again this year? Why is it important to you?
This is my second Pride March, and it's really important to me because I had a gay son who I lost in an accident just over a year ago, and I felt a very privileged woman to have two straight sons and a straight daughter and a gay boy. I felt that I'd hit the jackpot. And he was very special to us and very special to us, the family. And last year I was invited by one of his ex-boyfriends to come to Pride March with him. And it was so important to me because it has such a sense of normalcy about the Pride March, that this is just a huge range of normal people being proud of who and what they are.
Now, you've taken it even further than that, haven't you? You've taken all this into your day-to-day life because you work as a teacher.
Yes, I work as a teacher at Croydon Secondary College, and it's very important to me that our kids who are at school, because we know statistically, even if they're not out, that we have a lot of gay kids at school, probably about 50 or 60 of them, and they need to know that they are supported and that they are normal, and this is a normal part of their lives as they grow up.
So what have you been trying to do to get that point across at school?
Okay, I started with a very small group of Year 11 female students, and we've built a small support group, which wavers. Sometimes there's a few of us meet, sometimes there's lots of us meet. There are lots of straight kids that are part of the group too, because it's seen as being a support. So it's not exclusive, it's not just for gay kids, it's for any kids that want to come along.
So it's a bit like one of those gay-straight alliance setups, yeah?
I don't know much about Gay Straight Alliance, but it sounds exactly like that's what it's about.
So how does the hierarchy at school, you know, the management or whatever you call them, how are they taking to this?
The administration have no choice because legally they're not able to discriminate against any groups that are wishing to have meeting times at schools and support groups. And there are issues. We're hoping to take stuff to school council this year to get some more formalised approval and maybe to even push some things through into curriculum areas as well.
Well, that sounds like a great job. I bet your son would have been proud of you.
I was proud of him.
Tell us a bit about him.
Carl came out when he was 17. As he said to me when I asked him how long he knew, he said, "I've always been gay, Mum." And I guess there were some telltale signs when he was a very little boy, like wearing my underclothes whenever I got in the shower. His other brothers didn't like the lacy underwear, but he did. He was a very proud young man. I even said at his funeral that the way he introduced himself to people when he was out was, "Hi, I'm Carl, I'm gay." And a few people that took them aback a bit. I know one of his closest work colleagues, I was having tea with her the other night, and she said she remembers meeting him and Carl going, "Hi, I'm Carl, I'm gay," and she said, "Hi, I'm Kat and I'm straight." But he decided once he was out that he wasn't going to fiddle-faddle around with people who weren't going to treat him with respect, so he might as well always be completely up front. And in fact, we used the symbol of the rainbow at his funeral. We made a huge rainbow banner to hang over his casket, and instead of having a sign-in book, people signed on his rainbow banner that we then draped with him as his farewell gift.
Well, that sounds like it was amazing.
It was a pretty special day, but it was a day no parent ever wants to face. But it was his last party. So he was just shy of turning, 6 weeks shy of turning 20. So it had to be his last party, and people danced at his funeral because they were told to when we played his dance music. And we said Carl's words, which was "shut up and shuffle," and we told people to stand up.
Well, that sounds like he was quite an amazing boy.
Yeah, he was pretty special, but I think any mum's boy is special.
Oh, especially to his mum.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for that, Marg. Now we got, yes, now we have the
iceberg.
The other large contingent, which is the Vic Bears.
Not as many of them this year. I
No.
remember there were more.
Yes,
Years
yes.
of Vic Bears.
Oh, maybe it's a question of quantity rather than quality.
You might be right there, Doug. You might be right.
Very small turnout for Victorian AIDS Council here. Lots of people sheltering under a rainbow
large,
flag.
yeah.
A big rainbow.
Huge. I haven't seen that before.
A big rainbow
First year
flag.
that we've had that?
I
Has that been here before?
haven't seen that one before.
It's a great sized flag. I wonder where that lives. what building that normally flies.
Well, certainly not Dalesford Town Hall.
It'd be bigger than the town hall, I would think.
Well, now we've got, well, there's a lot of telephones coming up. I guess that must be switchboard. And the Metropolitan
And it
Commission
is.
shirt. Yes. Oh, yes, I'm sharp today. I'm sharp today.
Spot on.
Absolutely.
Not as dull as the weather.
Yeah, see lovely blue phones.
And there go the
Thinks
balloons flying on in the
might be the
distance.
switchboard, just might. And it is. Metropolitan Community
got a big bunch
Church.
too.
There's the Reverend Heather Creighton there, holding
Very colourful group.
down the corner of her banner. And a very small number of rainbow cloggers, but the rest of them are a long way behind, actually clogging their way down the street.
They are too, my goodness. That's what we like to see. Demonstration of the skill.
Oh, formation dancing there. I mean, you know, it's a pity we don't have a ballroom dancing group too. Yes, dancing with the puffs.
I can see it on Channel 7.
Now, here we come. Absolutely everybody. I knew I should have brought my tap shoes.
Try and keep your feet still. They do sound good, don't they? Look at that. Isn't that terrific?
Oh, it's,
I tried tap dancing. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
you're supposed to turn them off first. Now, nuns, yes. Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence.
Well, I'm not quite sure what that means, but
I mean,
a few of them.
Yeah, this is more of the religious contingent. We have LF Melbourne there, the Jewish and gay group. A bit of ethnic coming up. We got Archie Lesbica, we got Greek and gay.
Got some great names, haven't they? Who on earth thought of Archie Lesbico? Isn't that fantastic?
That's because
Lesbica.
the Italian gay group is called Archie Gay.
Lesbica, right. Okay.
So the female one became Archie Lesbica. This is all trade unions. So community workers, gay and lesbian rights at work. That's the Victorian Trades Hall Council. Homophobia gets no kudos.
Right.
Gay and lesbian chorus in very bright shirts.
They are very bright, aren't they? I think I prefer the brighter shirts to some of the groups that have come past in dark colours.
Oh, it's so
Somehow
Sydney,
just-
isn't it? Black t-shirts.
Yeah.
He said, looking at you.
Yes. That's what I mean.
I know, it's the Sydney barman look,
Blending in.
but I'll forgive you.
Hey, whatever.
Seahorse
Yeah, who?
Victoria, that's the transgender group.
Right?
Not usual to see Seahorse out and about, actually. They're normally a very discreet group, but they're actually trying to raise their public profile at the moment. Lots of other
And
small
that's really
groups
what the
here.
parade should all be about, isn't it? People come along in the crowd and I guess find out that there is a support group and
Yes.
and somebody coming down there in very, very high stiletto.
And
Looking fabulous in that rainbow dress.
Rainbow toe socks, I think.
I think they are too. And dancing in those things too, my goodness. That's a talent all by itself.
And out black, queery lesbians and queers. Black queer in here.
Fantastic.
And actually, they seem to have a bigger contingent than last year because I think it was one lone person last year when I took a look, and there seems to be about half a dozen this time.
Good to see. Be hard to disagree, wouldn't it, really?
And then here we go. Yes, this is the end of the march because there's a thank you banner.
See you next time.
Thank you. And
It's a good parade this year.
We'll see you next time.
Lots of good representation from all parts of the community. Wonderful crowd. Very supportive. A lot of cheering.
Yep, and of course everybody now flooding down towards Katani Gardens for the after party.
Promises to be quite big. There are a lot of people.
Well, I mean, when we looked around earlier on, there were quite a lot of people who were already there.
It's terrific that the weather hasn't stopped people coming out for this too. Successful parade though, without a doubt.
Very successful. Rounds of applause from everybody.
It was wonderful. Very, very good.
2007 Pride, St Kilda, once more.
Hello, we're back with you on Q Focus. I'm Mark, and joining me is Doug Pollard, the news editor of B News, and another new face, Tim Newton, who is from Joy and does the Rainbow Report.
I'm the local
Welcome,
attack
Tim.
dog.
And this week we'll be talking about the recent Pride March, the 12th annual Pride March, which took place in St Kilda. Now, Doug, we were talking earlier about it, and maybe you'd like to kick us off?
Well, we were all at this Pride March, and not as big a turnout as it has been in recent years, partly because of the weather and all that, but still a fairly respectable showing. But, you'd hardly have known it took place. It got almost no publicity, and, that's got to mean there's something wrong there.
Yeah,
Would you say?
the next day we woke up and we had 4 small paragraphs in the Herald Sun. The Age had a couple of small photographs and a little bit of footage on their website. But where was the TV coverage? Where was the radio coverage? Yeah, okay, Joy was there, but there's no commercial radio or any other coverage. So the problem with Pride at the moment is, we're being proud amongst each other, but we can't be proud out loud because no one's hearing the message.
Well, it's not the most fascinating of things to go and watch, is it? I mean, it's not very colourful.
It could be better.
In what way?
Well, I mean, I think Jamie Iverson and his team have done a remarkable job with Pride because, for 10 or so years, they've put this march together and they parade down Fitzroy Street. We get to see a lot of the different aspects and diversity of the GLBTI community. But unless you're really into those people and know those people, what's for the public to see? What's it telling the public? Yeah, okay, people can walk down the street, but it's not particularly colourful. It's not particularly media friendly, and it's going down Fitzroy Street. I mean, why don't we go down Swanston Street and let Melbourne see us, and perhaps then turn left, go down Flinders Street and end up in the Treasury Gardens with Midsummer?
Well, that would certainly get the message across.
Well, I think the other problem is perhaps we need to put it on at, say, lunchtime on the day of Pride, so that the media can, like particularly the TV stations, and that's the mass media, they can come down, get some footage, and it's on the 6 o'clock news that night. I think that's the only way to really get it out to the wider community.
But I mean, I don't think they'd be that interested, would they? Because until we can get something, that makes more of a point. I mean, it's all very good for the people who take part. It's terrific to take part. It's particularly if you've not done it before, particularly if you're kind of unsure about coming out in public. It's great to walk down the street and have all people clapping and cheering, and you're with your brothers and sisters, if I may use that terminology. But you hold up a sign saying Archie Lesbica, if you happen to be one of the Italian lesbians. Who knows what Archie Lesbica is?
Is the world ready for Doug in a frock?
It used to be. I haven't done that for years.
But do you think we need, make more of the dykes on bikes and more of the outrageous elements of our community for people to be attracted to it, particularly the media?
I don't think it's a question of being outrageous. I think it's a question of being creative. I mean, I overheard one drag queen who was actually on the sidelines and not marching, looking at everybody walking past in their blue denim and their black shirts and all the rest of it, and just went, there goes our reputation for creativity. Mm-hmm. There wasn't any kind of playful, jokey kind of way of getting the point across that was made. I mean, we've seen that in Sydney, but not.
Yeah. How do you think we could do that?
Well, rather than just stand up and wave a placard and say I'm an Italian lesbian or I'm a Koori queer or whatever else, you need to have some kind of theme to the groups.
Do we need floats? Do we need to
that turns it into a parade, and it's a march, not a parade.
Well, but then you're also talking about a lot more money being involved, and with people coming up with the floats, that's going to cost money, and do people want to do that sort of stuff?
Well, it's a question is, what is Pride March for? Is it just to make us feel good about ourselves, or is it to make a point to the wider community and be part of the campaigning for our rights?
At the moment, it's a fantastic march, but really it's a lot of internal GLBTIQ masturbation.
Yeah, it's not getting across to the straight community.
No. One of the largest contingents was the members from Joy, who had the kinky koalas. For those that didn't see the kinky koalas, you need to go onto YouTube and type in kinky koala, and you'll be able to see two koalas, stuffed koalas, from the Maya window, who, how can I say it, they were positioned in such a way, one was leaning over, the other one was behind him.
Sort of doing a samba.
They were gyrating. It looked really bad, but I'm sure it wasn't intended that way, but... My window quickly took these two offending bears out of the window, and we've ended up with them at Joy Melbourne, and they were parading down the street. The two kinky koalas doing their thing.
That is the kind of thing you need to do, because you can sell that beforehand to the media. You can say, come and see the kinky koalas. It's the kind of thing that it makes for what we call the fluffy ducky spot at the end of the news, and finally, I've taught my duck to skateboard or whatever it is. You could have the kinky koalas. It's a kind of hook, and what you need is to find some kind of media hook for the whole event.
Yes, it just needs a little bit more production, I suppose is the word, and perhaps maybe they need to spend some money on a good PR person to get the message out to the broader media.
And the other thing was that you mentioned about the route, changing it to somewhere that's more visible to everybody else.
Yeah, a lot of people think it would be a shame to change the route from Fitzroy Street because it's been there for so long, but maybe it's time for the event to evolve to the next stage, to perhaps take it to the wider community, take it down Swanston Street.
Well, the carnival used to be at the gardens in
Alexandra Gardens. Yeah, that's right. And part of the whole thing for Midsummer, they moved to Federation Square, and now they've moved to Treasury Gardens, and the point of that is to make it all much more visible to the general community, and I think maybe perhaps it's time Pride did something similar. I mean, I know the city of Port Phillip is a huge sponsor of Pride, and has been for many years, and they feel a kind of obligation to them because of that. But the City of Melbourne is now a big sponsor of Midsummer, and gives them Treasury Gardens. So, maybe it's time to move out of the ghetto and into the mainstream.
Yeah, no one owns Pride. I think we need to know that. No one owns Pride. Pride is really part of the GLBTIQ. It is the biggest event. And let's face it, where else was there 20,000 people last Sunday? Except maybe the tennis. Why wasn't the media there? It was a big event, a big community festival.
It was a wasted opportunity.
It was.
That's all we've got time for. Thanks very much, Doug.
You're welcome.
And Tim, thanks for coming on.
Pleasure, thank you.
And we'll see you next time on Q Focus.